Batwoman is the only show that seems to have survived Crisis, and I'm gonna tell you why. Basically, it's quite simple. A lot of the CW shows are at a point now where they've been running for long enough that they think they can do whatever they want and their fan base is still going to just lap it all up. However, when you have such a major event like the Crisis, you can't then go back into your weekly Power Ranger format. One bad guy pops up, we get rid of him, on to the next one. The thing that I think Batwoman's doing great compared to a lot of these shows is because it's at the start, because it's a first season, we're going back to having that really grounded approach. We don't have multiple villains popping up every episode. It's not like, you know, when you're watching Gotham or something like that and they're like, hey, we've got access to this character and this character and this character, and they don't really make that good a story around it. What they've done with this first season is just go for an overarching arc. Like, you know, they've gone for one that is a story from start to finish. And even if you come in from the point of Crisis, they've actually let something from Crisis dominate the past 2 episodes in a really interesting way. What they have done is brought back a doppelganger who happens to be the complete opposite to the main villain. It just so happens that the main villain, spoilers, is related to Batwoman. It's her sister. So now she's faced with a choice where she has to choose between the evil version of her sister and the version of her sister that she never got, because only one of them can survive. You can't have 2 doppelgangers on the same Earth. Apparently, you can't have 2 of the exact same being without their molecular structure starting to break down. See, this is a good story following on from Crisis. It's not Barry doing some ridiculous last mission for Ollie and somehow overlooking everything that they kind of came to peace with at the end of Crisis and then not getting over it in the next episode. No, it's not Supergirl just slipping back into some, hey, let's just do a quick pop-up villain for an episode and then done, which, you know, I'm not massively against Supergirl at all. I just think what a lot of these shows currently do is they go, oh, remember Toyman, we'll bring him back. Oh, remember this person from last season, we'll bring them back, so on and so forth. They keep with this, like I said, cookie cutter template of just being like, okay, so how do we just make the next villain pop up? And then how do we use the last 5 minutes to tie it into the bigger story? Whereas this is actually a show that's given you a great origin story, and it's not moving away from any of the main characters too much. It's building the foundations, basically, that a lot of the shows that you are watching and currently don't like The Flash and all of these other things, actually did really well and got you gripped in the first place. I think personally it's closer to Arrow than any of the other attempts have had. And that's a good thing. They needed to replace Arrow, and they need someone that's human and grounded. I love the fact that we're seeing loads of cool little gadgety things, like the type of stuff that you expected to see in any form of a Bat family member's TV show. So, you know, maybe don't knock it. Maybe the first few episodes they were trying a bit too hard to, you know, appeal to certain tribes to get a forced fan base. But for the people that have actually stuck through with it from start to finish, this is a really good first season from the CW. This is everything that they've learned over the course of making all of these shows. And, you know, the reason I haven't even mentioned Legends so far is because they just decided, hey, this is going to be completely wacky and we don't care, which is okay and that works for Legends. But what works really well for a lot of the original CW shows, you know, Smallville's a great example, is keeping it grounded into a real world aspect. And that's what Batwoman's doing incredibly well. That's just my thoughts and feelings on it. I'm trying to keep my reviews a lot more cut down and a bit more precise. I'm assuming you've watched the episode, so let me know what you thought about it. That's my thoughts on Batwoman. I'm personally really enjoying it. I think it's a great take on the character, and I think they're doing all of the things that CW do best within this show, and they're really trying. So go and show it the support, because I mean, I'm seeing ratings of like a 1. I don't know if that's out of 10 or out of 5, but either way, that's not acceptable. It's been renewed for a second season. Let me know what you think of the other CW shows as well. I'm on board with them. I'm very aware that Legends and Flash this week haven't come out, so it's a bit unfair to put this out today. But based on the past few episodes since Crisis, you know, Legends is good only because we're getting John Constantine's story played out, because apparently we just can't get another season. So they're just doing that within Legends, which is a lot of the reason I'm still watching. Other than that, it's really gone OTT. And I'm not too happy about that, because it was okay when it was kind of self-aware but not too over the top. But hey, it is what it is. And Flash, I just feel like Flash really should have been pushed. the last few episodes really should have built him up as, you know, he is the guy that's going to have to pull everyone together should there be a next crisis. And it really didn't go into that. It just went back into the same old approach that we've seen. Pop-up villain, pop-up scenario, done. A little bit of story, a little bit of hints at what may be going on, done. I prefer the approach that Batwoman's doing just because, as I said, and you know, Supergirl tries it as well, but there's still a lot more with that pop-up villain stuff. But this is just a nice start to finish story. And that's what I like about a lot of seasons. We don't need to rush out all of these people. You can have a villain play up across maybe 3 or 4 episodes, not just the classical 2-parter. You can have someone really have an impact on a season and still not be that main villain. But hey, I'm just judging it on these seasons and post-crisis. Let me know your thoughts. Like I said, take care of yourselves. It's a Tuesday. We've got a lot more of the week to go. So be nice to one another. Like, share, subscribe, all of that stuff, etc., etc.